Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to learn how to make the Kylie Jenner inspired diamond shape top. So I know I have already done a tutorial and I'll be linking the former video in the description box below as well as on the screen. That was the first version that I made about 2 years back. And today I'm back to show you another version that is actually very close to what the texture looks like for the knit version. We very well know that the Kylie Jenner version was knitted and was not crocheted. And today we are here to get something very close to what she was wearing in crochet version. So this was a request from one of my followers and she was having a hard time recreating this top. And her client wanted something almost exactly the same, so I decided to come up with this particular video. So you're going to grab your yarn to get started and we're going to make a chain. So starting off with a slip knot, you're going to just twist your yarn like this. Insert your hook into that loop that you just created, yarn over, pull through, and yarn over, pull through. And you're going to pull on the tail. And we're going to make a chain of 48. I'll be demonstrating for a size small, but for all the other sizes, just follow the instructions. The chain of 48 will be around 13 inches, and that's for a size small. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you're going to continue that until you have a total of 48 chains or a number of chains that's the total of this length on the screen. As you can see here, just follow the instructions. If you need to make less chains or more chains depending on the hook that you're using or depending on the different tension or the yarn that you're using, please make sure you get this length for your chain. Doesn't matter the number of chains, just make sure it's an even number of chains. So I have my 48 chains here, as you can see, and whatever number of chains that you have for your project, make sure it's an even number. Now you're going to hold your very last chain there and you're going to make a total of 3 more chains, and then you're going to go into the chain that you held. So you're going to yarn over and insert your hook, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So that's a double crochet in the US terms. So yarn over, go into the next chain, insert your hook, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So you're going to repeat this all the way across your chain, placing 1 double crochet in each and every chain until the end of your row 1. All right, so we're coming to the end of our row and we have 2 more chains, so we shall place 1 double crochet into each of them to end our row 1. So if you count the number of stitches that you have for row 1, those should be an odd number of stitches, counting the chain 3 at the beginning of the row as one of the double crochets. So since I started with 48 chains, I should be having a total of 49 stitches altogether, counting the chain 3 as double crochet. So now we're going on to row 2. Row 2, we are going to start creating the texture of our top, and you're going to make a chain of 3, turn your work, and the chain of 3 counts as a double crochet. So that means this very first stitch has already gotten a double crochet into it. So you're going to go into the next stitch with a front post double crochet. So you're going to yarn over, go around the post of the double crochet, the second double crochet like that. So I hope you've seen what I've done. So just yarn over, go into the space here and the space after the stitch. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So that is a front post double crochet. Now for the next stitch, you're going to place a normal double crochet. So just go on top of the stitch and place a double crochet there. And then into the next stitch, you're going to still make a front post double crochet. So yarn over, go into the space before the stitch, go into the space after the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. For the next stitch, you're going to make a normal double crochet. So that has already started creating a texture, and we shall see this texture growing as we go along. So keep alternating between a front post double crochet and a normal double crochet for the next stitch. So we are not making any increases or decreases. We are just maintaining the number of stitches that we had for our previous row. The only change that we are making here is creating texture on our top. So if you're attentive enough, if you pay close attention to the texture, you will see some stitches are pushing backwards and some stitches are pushing forward. So the ones that are pushing forward are the ones where we are placing a front post double crochet. The front post double crochet pushes the stitch onto the top. It's like onto the surface of the garment. And then the normal double crochet stays laid back to the original surface of the garment. So you're going to have ridges, kind of. All right, so we're almost coming to the end of our row, and we have 2 stitches left. So the second last stitch should be our front post double crochet, and then the very last stitch, which is on top of the chain 3, we should place 1 normal double crochet onto the top chain of the chain 3 on the edge, just like that. And this marks the end of our row 2. The texture has already started forming. So we're going on to our next row, which is row 3. You're going to make a chain of 3, which counts as a double crochet. Turn your work, and you will see stitches, 2 stitches. One is on the inside and one is on the top. One is behind and one is on top. So we are going to prepare for double crochet and then go into the second stitch and place a front post double crochet into the second stitch like that, and then a normal double crochet for the next, and then a front post double crochet for the next, and a normal double crochet for the next. So we're just repeating the same exact process, just that now you have to make sure that the stitch where you're placing a front post double crochet is the one at the back. The one that appears to be at the back is the one that gets the front post double crochet, and the one that appears to be at the front gets a normal double crochet. And we're going to repeat that all the way across. And we shall see what texture that has created at the end of the row. So we're coming to the end of the row, and your second last stitch should be the front post double crochet, and then the very last stitch is a normal double crochet on top of the chain 3 at the beginning of the row. just like that. And look what we have, guys. So we're going to repeat this row, which is row 3. Just make a chain of 3 and turn your work and repeat the same exact process. Front post double crochet into the second stitch and then 1 normal double crochet into the next, and repeat that all the way across. Now we're going to start working back and forth until we build our panel to be a perfect square, meaning if you had a total of 13 inches for your very first starting chain, then you're going to make sure that you build your panel until you have a total of 13 inches. If you had 14, make sure you build until 14. Just make sure all the sides of the square are the same or equal, and I'll be back to show you what to do next. So the texture is going to keep building and building and becoming more and more beautiful, and also start creating ridges as we go along, as you can see in the photo below. And then we shall appreciate the texture later on when our panel has built into a reasonable size. So you can see the very first ridges here, and they're going to keep building and creating themselves every 2 rows. As you can see at the back, we have this ridge and this ridge. So they're going to keep building and building and creating that something that's very similar to what we have in the original inspiration photo. So I did a total of 38 rows all together, and this is what the texture looks like. You can see it's dense. It creates those ridges that we are looking for based on the inspiration photo from Kylie Jenner's top. I feel like this is the closest that we have when it comes to crocheting. You can see those ridges. So now I want to take my measurements. So remember my very first, the starting chain was 13 inches, and I continued to work until I had a total of 13 inches when slightly stretched. You can see if I don't stretch, it's around 12.5, but when slightly stretched, it will be 13 inches. So make sure you have a perfect square at this point. If you had a total of 14 inches across for your beginning chain, you should be having a total of 14 inches all the way up, so that we have a perfect square. Now, as I told you earlier on, I've done a total of 38 rows to achieve my 13 inches. And now I'm going to work on the straps. This time we are going to make something a little bit different. So you're going to make, after your very last stitch, you're going to make a chain of, let me see, I want a chain of 250. So 250 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go all the way up until you have a total of 250 chains. So I ended up doing a total of 200 chains just because I felt like it was already too long, and 250 would have been way longer than what I had planned for. So I did a total of 200 chains, and I'm going to go back on that chain, placing one slip stitch into each and every chain. So skipping the very first one, you're going to go into the second one and pull through all. And that's a slip stitch. This is going to help us make our straps a little bit more sturdy and thicker. And if you watched my previous video, this is the same exact approach that we did for the straps, for the upper straps of the top. And I feel like the result was really beautiful. So I'll apply the same exact knowledge for this one so that we get something that's really reliable when it comes to something that's going to tie around our neck, as well as strap up the back of our top. So just go all the way across, placing one slip stitch in each and every chain until you come back to the beginning of the strap. I know this may take long, but the extra time put in to create these sturdy straps is totally worth it. So let me go all the way to to the beginning of the strap, which is here. I'm going to go all the way from here, all the way here, and then I'll show you how to do the second strap. Alright guys, I've made it all the way back, and this is what our strap looks like. You can see the difference between just a normal chain and one that has been worked on. So once you get onto your very last chain and you've placed a slip stitch there, you're going to make another chain of 200 or whatever number of chains that you did for this first strap. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me go ahead and make my 200 chains because that's the number of chains that I have on this side, and then I'll be back to show you what to do next. So I am done with my 200 chains, and I'm going to just do the same exact thing as I did for the first strap. So you're going to go into the second chain from the hook and make 1 slip stitch and go all the way across the strand or the strap, placing 1 slip stitch into each and every chain until you come back to the body of the top, and I'll show you what to do when you get there. So we're trying to get the same thickness as our very first strap. So you're going to go all the way down your chain until you get back to the main body of the top. Alright guys, I've made it all the way back to the beginning of my chain, and I'm placing my very last slip stitch. Now you're going to get your darning needle. Let me get mine. And from here, you're going to just make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn, leaving a strand behind, and then you're going to pull through. Now you're going to use this strand that you've left behind and thread it into your darning needle, and we are going to weave in this tail. So make sure you have something like this. I'm going here because you can see this is supposed to be attached to the body. So just attach your second strap along that line like that, and then you can weave in this tail into the actual top. So go into a few stitches of the top and weave in the tail to secure it. Like that, and then from here you're going to just cut your yarn. Now turn your work onto the right side and see exactly what you have. This is what we have. And now from here we're going to get our darning needle and also weave in the tail that we started with at the beginning of the project. Just hide it. Weave it in properly so that it can't be seen at all. Like that. Cut your yarn, and you're going to now turn your work onto the wrong side. Both sides will literally look the same, but you're going to choose one side to be the front side and then the back side. So you're going to place your work like a diamond shape. That's what I can say. Then from here you're going to get one of the straps, the one on this side, and thread it into the corner on this opposite side. So you can see the reason why I made a very long strap or chain on each end. Then you're going to get the one of this side, the one on this side, and thread it into the corner on this side. Okay, just like that, and we shall be able to tie our top at this point like this at the back. This is just the assembly of the top, and you can feel free to tie this strap around your body multiple times after this. And yeah, that's basically it. This is how the front side of our top looks like. and this is how the back side looks like. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you learned a new stitch that you will use for your other projects, and I'll see you again in my next video. Bye.